I used to think I was staying informed, but the truth is I was being trained. Trained to react, trained to fear, trained to hate, trained to share things I didn't fully understand. And little by little, it didn't just damage my opinions, it damaged my mind. Because misinformation doesn't only mislead you, it exhausts you, it fragments your attention, it turns your nervous system into a battlefield. This isn't a political video. This is a mental clarity video. And if you've felt confused, angry, overwhelmed, or constantly on edge after scrolling, you're not weak. You're overstimulated, and you're being pulled by stories that are designed to hijack your emotions. In fact, the Reuters Institute's digital news report found that a majority of people surveyed worry about what's real and what's fake online when it comes to news. So if this feels hard, it's because it is hard. Today I'm giving you 100 laws to protect your mind, not theories. Rules. Some of these laws I learned late, some I learned the hard way, and some I learned only after misinformation already cost me peace. Let's reclaim your clarity. First, a quick definition. Misinformation is false or misleading information that spreads, sometimes by mistake. Disinformation is false or misleading information spread on purpose. Either way, the result is the same for you. Your mind gets flooded. And when your mind is flooded, you become easy to control. Not because you're dumb, but because your brain is running on emotion, speed, and incomplete context. This problem is so serious that the World Economic Forum has repeatedly ranked misinformation and disinformation among the top short-term global risks in its global risks reporting. That means two things. 1, this isn't going away soon. 2, the person who learns mental clarity now gains an advantage. So here's the plan. I will give you 100 laws. Short, sharp, memorable. Don't try to use all 100. Pick 5, live them for 7 days. Then come back and pick 5 more. Clarity is trained, just like confusion is trained. Before we go into the list, you need one mindset. Your mind is a house. Information is either a guest or an intruder. Most people treat information like weather. It's just happening to me. But Marcus Aurelius had a better idea. Your inner world is your responsibility. And here's the modern version. If you don't choose your inputs, someone else will choose them for you. If you don't choose your standards, your emotions will choose them for you. Okay, here are the laws. Part 1, the Attention Diet Law. 1. Don't start the day with a feed. Law 2, no news before breakfast. Law 3, if it makes you furious, pause. Law 4, never scroll when you feel lonely. Law 5, never scroll when you feel tired. Law 6, confusion is a signal to stop. Law 7, curate your inputs like food. Law 8, your attention is your life. Law 9, protect the first hour. Law 10, protect the last hour. Law 11, if you can't act on it, limit it. Law 12, don't consume to feel in control. Law 13, don't consume to numb pain. Law 14, information is not wisdom. Law 15, outrage is not intelligence. Law 16, speed kills understanding. Law 17, more content, less meaning. Law 18, silence restores perspective. Law 19, boredom is a detox signal. Law 20, your mind needs empty space. Part 2, truth filters. Law 21, read past the headline. Law 22, check the date before you react. Law 23, ask, who benefits if I believe this? Law 24, ask, what would disprove this? Law 25, screenshots are not sources. Law 26, clips are not context. Law 27, virality is not accuracy. Law 28, confidence is not evidence. Law 29, a crowd can be wrong. Law 30, everyone knows, is a trap. Law 31, separate facts from commentary. Law 32, separate reporting from opinion. Law 33, one story is not a pattern. Law 34, one study is not a verdict. Law 35, one anecdote proves nothing. Law 36, Strong claims need strong sources. Law 37, secret truth is often bait. Law 38, they don't want you to know is bait. Law 39, if it's too perfect, it's propaganda. Law 40, if it's too evil, it's propaganda. Law 41, if it removes all complexity, it's suspect. Law 42, if it demands instant sharing, it's suspect. Law 43, if it demands instant hatred, it's suspect. Law 44, don't outsource thinking to influencers. Law 45, don't outsource thinking to your tribe. Part 3, emotional self-defense. Law 46, strong emotion is not proof. Law 47, fear is a bad researcher. Law 48, anger is a bad teacher. Law 49, humiliation is a bad advisor. Law 50, if you're shaking, don't post. Law 51, if you're triggered, don't share. Law 52, if you're rushing, you're manipulable. Law 53, if it feels like an emergency, slow down. Law 54, don't argue with strangers in your head. Law 55, don't rehearse disasters for entertainment. Law 56, notice what content does to you. Law 57, protect your sleep like a fortress. Law 58, late-night doom scrolling is self-harm. Law 59, calm is a competitive advantage. Law 60, clarity is a moral duty. Law 61, ask, what am I adding? Law 62, remove the story you added. Law 63, remove the insult you repeated. Law 64, remove the catastrophe you imagined. Law 65, don't confuse intensity with importance. Law 66, don't confuse repetition with truth. Law 67, don't confuse popularity with truth. Law 68, don't confuse cynicism with wisdom. Law 69, don't confuse suspicion with insight. Law 70, don't confuse bitterness with realism. Part 4, people, conversation, and social reality. Law 71, talk to real humans weekly. Law 72, online crowds distort reality. Law 73, algorithms amplify extremes. Law 74, most people are not your enemy. Law 75, most people are not heroes either. Law 76, refuse us versus them addiction. Law 77, refuse identity rage as a hobby. Law 78, don't debate to dominate. Law 79, debate to understand, or don't debate. Law 80, if someone won't define terms, leave. Law 81, if someone insults quickly, leave. Law 82, if someone blocks nuance, leave. Law 83, ask better questions than your opponents. Law 84, be harder to provoke. Law 85, be slower to label people. Law 86, be faster to admit uncertainty. Law 87, I might be wrong, is strength. Law 88, your closest circle shapes your sanity. Law 89, choose friends who value truth. Law 90, choose friends who value peace. Part 5, action and meaning. Law 91, replace consuming with creating. Law 92, replace outrage with skill. Law 93, replace speculation with a task. Law 94, replace doom with duty. Law 95, replace fear with the next right step. Law 96, ask, what can I control today? Law 97, do that, quietly, completely. Law 98, let results be louder than posts. Law 99, build a life bigger than the feed. Law 100, guard your mind like it's sacred. If you felt something while listening to those laws, good. That means you're waking up. Misinformation doesn't only steal truth. It steals time. It steals peace. It steals relationships. It steals your ability to focus. It steals your ability to think. And I learned that the hard way. So here's your challenge. Pick 5 laws. Write them down. Follow them for 7 days. And when you feel the urge to react, remember this. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't have to believe every story you're shown. You don't have to hand your mind to strangers. If this gave you clarity, subscribe to Forgotten Wisdom. Because the world is getting louder. And that's exactly why your mind must get stronger.